From the dawn of empires etched in ancient stone and forged in conquest, a story unfolds. It is a tale of resilience, of a nation shaped by defiance and revolution, whose legacy is woven into the very fabric of the modern world. This is the story of a people, an island, and an enduring spirit that has time and again risen to meet the call of history, leaving an indelible mark upon the ages. Upon the windswept frontier of a vast empire, where civilization met the wild, a wall of stone and resolve was raised. Here along Hadrian's Wall, the Roman eagle cast its shadow, a testament to order and ambition. The narration speaks of a beginning forged in the crucible of empire, where the seeds of a nation were sown in the soil of Britannia. These ancient stones whisper of legionaries and chieftains, of a land on the edge of the known world, destined for a future far beyond the Roman horizon, a future that would be built upon the foundations they left behind. Centuries later, this island kingdom would find itself under the rule of a queen who embodied its defiant heart. Elizabeth I, the Virgin Queen, ascended to a throne beset by peril, both from within and without. In a grand throne room, amidst her trusted commanders, she forged a new destiny for her people. Her reign was a golden age, a renaissance of culture, exploration, and national identity. When the mighty Spanish Armada, an invincible fleet, sailed to crush her realm, she stood unyielding. Her famous speech at Tilbury rallied a nation, her words echoing through the ages as a symbol of courage against overwhelming odds. The defeat of the Armada, aided by ferocious storms and English naval prowess, secured England's sovereignty and announced its arrival as a formidable power on the world stage. The spirit of innovation that blossomed under Elizabeth would ignite a revolution of a different kind. Britain was to become the workshop of the world, the epicenter of an industrial transformation that would reshape human society forever. The landscape itself was altered, as smoke-filled skies rose above bustling Victorian cities and the rhythmic clang of machinery became the nation's heartbeat. Steam engines, the iron sinews of this new age, powered factories and crossed continents, shrinking the globe. This was an era of unprecedented invention and social upheaval, a time when Britain's industrial might and engineering genius projected its influence across the planet, building an empire upon which the sun, it was said, never set. Yet, this empire would face its most profound existential threat in the 20th century. During its darkest hour, as the shadow of tyranny fell across Europe, Britain stood alone. The Blitz rained fire upon its cities, but the spirit of its people refused to break. From a fortified bunker beneath the streets of London, one voice, gravelly and resolute, became the roar of a nation. Winston Churchill, with his unshakable defiance and soaring rhetoric, rallied his countrymen and the free world. His speeches were not mere words, they were weapons of hope, a promise of courage in the face of despair, a vow that they would never surrender. His leadership transformed a moment of potential defeat into a testament to enduring fortitude. From the ashes of war and the twilight of empire, a new Britain has emerged. The legacy of its past is not a relic, but a living force. It is seen in the laboratories, where scientists push the boundaries of knowledge, in the vibrant multicultural festivals that celebrate a rich tapestry of identities, and in the gleaming skylines of its modern cities. The spirit of defiance, innovation, and resilience that defined its history continues to echo. This is a story that has not yet ended, a legacy that continues to evolve, innovate, and inspire, forever carrying the echoes of the giants who walked this land before. In the heart of an island nation, a unique legacy was forged, woven from two seemingly opposing threads. This is the story of Britain, a nation defined by a dual helix of genius, the meticulous discipline of science and the untamed spirit of artistic rebellion. It's a tale written in equations and anthems, in laboratories and on stages, where the pursuit of order and the celebration of chaos dance in a timeless embrace. This enduring paradox isn't just a part of Britain's history, it is the very engine of its creativity, a force that has consistently reshaped the world. The journey begins in an age of enlightenment, where the quest for universal laws consumed the greatest minds. We see it in the quiet intensity of Isaac Newton, as he fractures white light with a simple prism, revealing the hidden spectrum of color and imposing a mathematical order upon the very essence of vision. Yet as science sought to map the cosmos, a different kind of truth was being chronicled on the gaslit, foggy streets of Victorian London. Here, Charles Dickens, with his sharp and empathetic eye, observed the sprawling, messy reality of human existence. He documented the profound social chaos, the chasm between the opulent and the destitute, capturing a raw, unfiltered humanity that no scientific formula could ever fully explain. This era was defined by a profound tension, the scientific search for a predictable, ordered universe set against the artistic documentation of a deeply unpredictable and unequal society. Centuries later, this tension would erupt, not with quiet observation, but with a seismic cultural earthquake. A new wave of energy surged from the industrial heartlands, a youthful rebellion set to a 4-beat rhythm that would conquer the world. The Beatles emerged from the smoky clubs of Liverpool, their music a vibrant, electrifying force that sent shockwaves across the globe. Their arrival marked a definitive break from the post-war austerity, unleashing a tidal wave of creative expression and cultural change. They didn't just write songs, they crafted the soundtrack for a generation, and in doing so reshaped the landscape of popular culture forever. The image of them on the Abbey Road crosswalk became more than just an album cover. It was a symbol of a nation confidently striding into a new, more expressive future. This rebellious spirit would soon find a new, more aggressive voice. As the 1970s dawned, a different kind of revolution was brewing in the heart of London, one that spat in the face of the establishment. In a small shop on King's Road, Vivienne Westwood began to tear up the rulebook of fashion. Armed with tartan, safety pins, and a provocative anti-authoritarian attitude, she dressed a new movement, punk. This was not just about clothes, it was a philosophy, a snarling rejection of the mainstream and a DIY declaration of independence. Punk fashion was a visual manifestation of dissent, a revolutionary style that mirrored the raw, chaotic energy of the music. It was a testament to Britain's ability to turn discontent into a powerful and influential art form, proving that rebellion itself could be a creative act. From Newton's structured universe to the anarchic roar of punk, Britain's enduring spark lies in this constant, dynamic interplay. It is a legacy built on the friction between structure and chaos, tradition and rebellion, the lab coat and the leather jacket. This dual helix, the scientist's relentless quest for answers and the artist's defiant need to ask questions, is the nation's true genius. It's a creative tension that continues to fuel innovation, inspiring new generations of scientists, artists, and musicians who carry the torch. The story is far from over. The dance between order and rebellion continues, perpetually inventing and reinventing the world we live in. In the heart of every nation, there's a pulse, a rhythm that defines its people. For Britain, it's not a single beat, but a clashing, powerful cadence, a two-stroke engine. One stroke is the relentless drive to build the rules, to forge the systems that order the world. The other is the wild, uncontrollable urge to break them, to shatter the old and create the new. It's a story of meticulous design and magnificent chaos, two forces locked in a perpetual creative dance. This is the story of the British spark. It begins in an age of giants, figures who saw the world not as it was, but as it could be. We see it in Isaac Newton, a mind so vast it could perceive the invisible forces binding the cosmos, giving us the laws of motion that govern every planet and every falling apple. He didn't just observe the universe, he gave it a grammar. At the same time, another architect, William Shakespeare, was taking the raw, clumsy material of the English language and structuring it into the very soul of modern drama. From his Globe Theatre, he gave us words for love, for rage, for despair, building the intricate framework for our innermost thoughts. These were the system builders, the architects of order who laid the foundations upon which the modern world would run. But every grand design casts a long shadow, and progress always comes at a price. The orderly vision of the architects gave way to the smog-choked, clattering reality of Victorian London. Here, amidst the relentless machinery of the Industrial Revolution, Charles Dickens walked the streets, not as a system builder, but as a chronicler of its human cost. He gave a voice to the forgotten, documenting the brutal realities hidden beneath the veneer of progress. Decades later, in the secrecy of a wartime laboratory, another kind of order was being forged. Alan Turing, surrounded by the clicking and whirring of his revolutionary machine, was breaking the enemy's most hidden codes. While Dickens exposed the visible chaos of society, Turing was creating a silent, hidden order, a new kind of intelligence that would not only win the war, but define the future of humanity itself. Then, just when the system seemed unbreakable, a cultural earthquake shook the nation to its core. It arrived not with a theory or a law, but with a chord progression and a haircut. The Beatles erupted onto the world stage, their music a tidal wave of joyous rebellion that rewrote the rules of culture and celebrity overnight. They didn't just sell records, they created a new kind of connection, a popular uprising that turned the establishment on its head. This energy of mass defiance found its next evolution on the streets of London in the 1970s. Vivienne Westwood, with ripped t-shirts and safety pins, took the rule book of fashion and tore it to shreds. Punk wasn't just a style, it was a declaration of war on conformity. A raw, defiant scream that proved rebellion could become its own powerful mainstream force. So you see, the story of this nation can be told in different ways. One is a tale of the architects, the giants like Newton, Shakespeare and Turing, who built the systems, wrote the code and defined the world. Another is the story of the rebels, the ones like the Beatles and Westwood, who ripped up the rules and tore it all down, only to build something new from the wreckage. But the real story, the true echo of this nation's soul, is that both live within you. That same spark, that two-stroke engine of creation and destruction is your inheritance. So ask yourself, what will you build? What will you break? The next chapter is yours to write.